hope you're doing well. So today we've got a video regarding something that is quite something that is actually quite close to home as well, but it is something that somebody has already spoken to me about as well, because we're in a bit of a predicament. So as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be about people reverting or converting to a certain religion for either themselves or a relationship, or because they just do it for their own reasons. But we are mainly going to look at, because the situation that I am actually talking about is regarding somebody who is a Muslim, and they are not really practicing, but they're thinking about possibly, I'm talking so slowly, aren't I? They're thinking about possibly coming to Islam for the sake of being with this person, but they have read into Islam as well. Now, these situations come kind of around and happen quite a lot these days. Well, they have happened for a long time, but I probably come across it now more that I'm grown up and I can understand it more. But basically, my kind of viewpoint on this, or the advice that I would give is only, and it's easy to say when I'm not the person who's in love with that person, but only revert for a person, and I'm not an Islamic scholar or anybody like that either, is only revert for somebody when you've actually got a bit of a background on the religion that you can grow on, so you know the main aspects of the religion. So for myself, I would probably say that is the 5 pillars of Islam, which is Shahada, Salah, Zakat, Sawm and Hajj. So Shahada is the declaration of you coming to our religion and bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final messenger. Salah is to kind of commit to praying 5 times a day. So Shahada, Salah, Zakat. And Zakat is given to charity, Sawm is praying during the month of Ramadan, and Hajj is making a pilgrimage once in a lifetime. Obviously, the pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia around what people recognise as the Black Stone does have its conditions, such as you can't be in debt, you can't be ill, but you should also try and do it once in a lifetime as well. So for me, I would say, and I'm not saying this because I was obviously brought up as a Muslim, I'm not going to say that I do all of them 5 pillars, but I'd say for somebody thinking about reverting to Islam, that you should be looking at them 5 pillars of Islam in a bit of depth, because it is something that is a main focus of our religion, and you should be doing if you did come to Islam. So that's the main point I'm going to make. The second point I would probably make is about people converting or reverting. This is another thing. So people believe, as in converting, that a person just changes from a different religion or no religion to a religion. And there's also the reverting aspect of it, where people believe that people were born as Muslims, but then went on to practice their life the way they chose to, or have been brought up to being live the life. So yeah, so if you're thinking about, I'm going to say reverting or converting, because both aspects do apply, depending on obviously what you believe as a Muslim. So I'd always say that if you are thinking about coming to Islam, then yeah, you need to understand the basic principles. And maybe such things as not drinking alcohol, dressing a certain way, or maybe if you dress totally the opposite to what our religion teaches us. For example, if you go around wearing shorts and vests and that sort of thing, you'd probably be expected, if you are coming to Islam, or your other half should be encouraging you to, is to maybe wear long sleeve tops or loose pants and that sort of thing. Now, obviously, there are conditions with within Islam in regards to how you should actually do things. And I, for one, aren't going to say that I dressed perfectly and in the line or in the terms of Islam. But what I'm trying to say is there are certain things that you do have to try and change or adapt if you are coming to Islam. I'm saying Islam because I'm a Muslim, so and because the situation is about somebody coming to Islam. So yeah, I'm not the perfect Muslim. I don't always wear the loosest clothes. I don't always wear long sleeves up to here. I don't always cover my ankles and all of that sort of thing. But what I'm saying is there's a difference between not having a religion or living a certain way of wearing shorts, for example, and having maybe to cover a bit more. So that's the kind of point I'm making, not that I'm a perfect Muslim. So yeah, so there's that sort of aspect. There's certain things that you do have to look into, and there's certain reasons why you can't drink. For example, it can go to you can end up committing adultery. You don't think with the same mentality that you would if you didn't have alcohol or anything in your system. Drugs, the same sort of thing. So there are certain values. There are certain things that I would hold up there, and some things I'm a bit more lenient with. But yeah, it's just about looking into the religion, asking your partner or your other half about why certain things happen, what are the main things that you need to be doing. Because I'm not going to say that it's easy, because it's not easy. But if you're in that situation where you do want to change or to come to Islam for your other half, then there are certain things that you need to look into, and there's certain values that you're going to have to adapt in your life. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is reverting or converting for love. So my mum, she came to Islam. She wasn't necessarily brought up as a Muslim. I would say there was a lot of values which are within Islam that she was also brought up with, but not necessarily because she was a Muslim, but just things that her parents taught her. So that's why I can understand this situation. And my mum, she reverted. She came to Islam officially, and she might have done that for love, but she also did that because she had actually looked into Islam beforehand. So when she came to Islam, she was covering kind of in a way that it should be. She was eating halal food. She was trying to pray. She was going to the mosque. So all the sort of things that a Muslim is kind of expected to do or taught to do, she was doing that. So, and she was, well, she's still a Muslim now, and I don't know how many years she's been a Muslim for, but I think over 30 years now, officially. But she's still with Islam after all these years, and she's had her ups and downs in life, as in, obviously my parents split up and that sort of thing, but she didn't go and leave Islam. So that's an example of somebody who's come to Islam maybe for love, but has also researched into the religion beforehand as well. Another sort of revert or converting I wanted to speak about is, yeah, revert or converting for love, but are you actually going to practice the religion once you come to the religion? So I have seen situations other than this where somebody will revert or convert for their partner, and then things will go a bit doolally, and then they'll end up drinking and all that sort of thing, and then they come back to Islam and all that sort of thing. Now, everybody has their own reasons. I believe everybody has their own reasons, and at the end of the day, we should understand everybody. We should always try and understand people's situations and why they do things. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm not here to say that you shouldn't revert or convert for the person that you love. But I know people that have reverted or converted to Islam. They've had rough patches with their partners, and they've done things that they probably wouldn't want to, or they've done it because of the situation, and they've come back, and they're either back happy with a partner, or they've actually thought about, do you know what, did I actually come for my partner, or I might have at the time, but now I've looked into it, I've been practicing it a bit, like, is this my cup of tea? So there's a lot of reasons why people convert and revert for religion and all that sort of thing. So what I'd probably say is that always think about why you're reverting or converting. Always expect that there's going to be life changes, and that's another thing as well. And I would say this even within Islam, there's different sects and different groups of people. And when you are with somebody and you are thinking about reverting or converting or practicing a different way of life, possibly, or having to adapt slightly, just think about, will that affect my future children? Will that affect our future life? Will I be able to adapt? How much will I have to adapt my life? And that sort of thing. Because I know people who even get married within Islam, and they're not, I wouldn't say, because I do believe in sects, but I don't believe that because a certain person does Eid on a different day, or does the Prophet's birthday, that they either they're Sunni because they do the Julus, and because they don't do the Julus they're Wahhabi, or because they do the Julus, they're Sunni, but because then they do Eid on a different day, they were happy. So that's the sort of thing I don't believe in. And I personally believe that there's certain things you can adapt, which I believe you aren't necessarily going against your religion for that. So I know people who, some people who have got married into somebody who follows Saudi Arabia, but they follow Morocco, the moon, but they've got married in that sort of family, and what they do is they just find a middle ground. And I don't necessarily believe in having those beliefs of the moon or Morocco. I don't believe anybody's right or wrong. I literally think that is down to interpretation. So I don't believe in necessarily doing anything against God because you've gone into a family that either follow the moon or follow Saudi Arabia, and you don't, and you just adapted. So I don't believe that. I mean, I believe that there's always a middle ground, as long as you're not saying, oh, okay, well, you guys allow stabbings and killings, and killings like out of honour and all that sort of thing, that, oh yeah, I'll just do with it because I love you, so yeah, I'll get married into your family and I'll be in your family and I'll allow all of that. So what I'm saying is that there has to be a middle ground, as long as you're not doing anything that's against Allah or Islam or our teachings, then yeah, adapt to being with who you want to be with. But overall, what I'd say concluding this kind of conversation is that just always know that before you're going to either go to another religion or be with somebody who believes slightly different things, just think about how that's going to affect your life and affect, maybe if you are a Muslim already, the afterlife, or if you are going to be able to adapt, because yeah, love is a lot, but is it everything if you're going to go against either your own values or the values of Islam for somebody else because they believe things that are totally different to yourself? So yeah, that's kind of the video on what this video is about, really. So yeah, I don't know if that's been informative or not, but that is what I think. And in regarding the situation, yeah, just think about your life and how you're going to adapt to it, how it's going to change, if you're going to be able to live with those changes, and yeah, and if that's going to make you happy or not in the end. So yeah, that is a basic story and a basic video of today and today's scenario. But if there are any other questions regarding that, I can give you general advice. I can't give you Islamic advice. I'm not a scholar or anybody like that, but I can try and give you as much advice as possible. So thank you for watching my video. Remember to comment, share, like and subscribe, the usual. And yeah, turn your post notifications on as well so that you are alerted whenever I do post on YouTube.